I have type 1 diabetes. I'm 25 and I was first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 5.
I have type 2 diabetes. I am 56 and was first diagnosed with type 2 5 years ago.
I have gestational diabetes. I'm 23 years old and 28 weeks pregnant.
Diabetes is a complex condition which requires daily self-care. There are 3 main types of diabetes: type 1, type 2, and gestational diabetes. Although a serious condition, you can live a healthy, active life by learning about the condition and effectively managing it. When someone has diabetes, their body can't automatically maintain healthy levels of glucose in the blood. Glucose is a form of sugar which is the main source of energy for our cells. Unhealthy levels of glucose in the blood can lead to long and short-term complications. In diabetes, the blood glucose level is elevated because the glucose can't enter the cells where it is needed. In order for glucose to get into the cell, it must go through a passage in the wall of the cell, and that passage must be made opened by insulin, like a key opening a door. Insulin is a hormone which is produced by the beta cells in the pancreas and is released into the bloodstream. In type 1 diabetes, the pancreatic beta cells have been destroyed by an autoimmune response, and eventually there is no production of insulin. In type 2 diabetes, there is ongoing insulin production, but factors including lifestyle mean the body is resistant to the action of the insulin. Gestational diabetes is a type of diabetes that is first diagnosed in pregnancy and is caused by insulin resistance induced by placental hormones. It generally resolves after pregnancy. In type 1 diabetes, insulin must be taken daily to replace the insulin the body can no longer make. The absence of insulin can be life-threatening, and insulin replacement is essential in type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes may be managed with lifestyle adjustments and non-insulin medication, but often insulin must be added to maintain optimal blood glucose levels. Gestational diabetes is managed with diet and lifestyle changes, but again, insulin may be needed if blood glucose levels are not in the recommended range for pregnancy. Insulin is not absorbed if taken orally, so if you require insulin, it is going to need to be injected. Usually with type 1 diabetes, you will be using a long-acting as well as an ultra-short-acting insulin. Longer-acting or basal insulin covers the background requirement between meals and overnight and allows glucose from the liver to be utilised by the body. Rapid-acting insulin is absorbed quickly and typically peaks in 1 to 2 hours and lasts around 3 hours, so it's given just before a meal to allow the glucose coming from the meal to get into the cells. Mixed insulins contain a longer-acting plus shorter-acting insulin, so they cover some background requirement plus some mealtime requirement. They don't allow the same flexibility that using separate long and ultra-short-acting insulin does. To use insulin safely and effectively, it is important to know what your blood glucose level is. That tells you how your body is responding to the dose of insulin, the food, and the exercise and other external factors such as stress. Although diabetes is a serious and complex condition which can affect the entire body, it's a condition that can be managed. Know your condition, understand your body, and ensure you have the tools to manage your diabetes at all times. It is also important to know and make the most of healthcare resources at your disposal. Your general practitioner will be an important point of contact to provide the medical care and to provide timely referral to community and hospital-based services when required. We hope you find this suite of videos helpful in managing what is often a complex condition. With appropriate management, you should be able to lead a happy and healthy life with your diabetes.